Yes.
Hello, everyone. How are you? Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. I'm back and I have a special guest. And I think that the reason I said, you know what? I've got to talk to Will Jackson. He has written a book. He's an author, he's a speaker, but he's got a lot of talents. He's a musician, he's a singer, he's just a great person. And he's written a book called When Life Happens. Let me share this with you. Everybody want to know, what do you do when life happens? Will, how are you?
I'm good, Legend. How you doing?
I'm blessed to hear the sound of your voice.
Likewise, likewise. Honored
Okay,
to be amongst you.
yes. Now, so this book that's available on Amazon, When Life
Uh-huh.
Happens. What inspired you to write this book?
Life. A lot of us
Yeah.
experience life in so many different facets, and there's so many. 2020 has shown us that life happens to us all. It doesn't matter where you come from. Pain, I say, pain doesn't discriminate. It doesn't. It doesn't have a specific sect of people, culture, religion, ethnicity. It hits everybody the same. So I had gone through a series of different life events. And I realized that a lot of times when life happens to us, the real tragedy is that we walk away with no takeaways. We don't have any lessons that we've learned. We didn't get any stronger. We didn't get better. And we come out of it and ultimately sometimes go back into the same situation because we haven't developed a plan of how to attack it when life happens. So I decided that I wanted to do almost like I call it the life's blueprint, to where it's a playbook that helps you navigate through every aspect of life. So life really, when it happened to me, I decided that I wanted to create something to help people matriculate through life more successfully, because I always say that a man that's unwilling to learn from the mistakes of another man is a danger to all men.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's deep. I love that. Listen, if you just joined us, his name is Will Jackson. He's the author of the book When Life Happens. So let's go in there, and I don't need all of it. I just need the sizzle. But
Yeah.
but people can get this book on Amazon. Am I correct?
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir. It's on all major digital retailers. It literally, that's the title, When Life Happens. And the subtitle is How to Go from Trap to Triumph.
okay, and so let's look at three major things that let's go inside the book here
Yeah.
that would be a benefit to people that can help people that are listening right now when life happens. What's the first thing that one should do?
The first thing that you should always do is be proactively preparing for something. I think a lot of things happen. There's a chapter in the book, it's called What the Heck Was That? And I always say that the hit that has the ability to shake your foundation is the one you didn't see coming. It's the sucker punch. It's a tornado. It's a pandemic that comes out of nowhere that leaves you with the idea of what the heck was that? Where did that come from? So if we're always constantly preparing, working on ourselves, working on establishing certain practices and principles that I talk about in the book, it gives us a better chance to deal when life happens. So I always say that you should always be working on you, always developing you, like listening to the legend Les Brown himself, and joining in with your speakers and the programs that you have established. That's constantly working on you. That's developing you. It's putting you in a position where you have an option for other streams of income. The wealth of knowledge. Knowledge is power. So I always say that you should always be working on you. It's imperative, because if not, life will take over. And when life takes over, then we're just sort of flying by the seat of our pants. So I always say that one, you should always be working on yourself. The second thing that I would say is you have to have a
Right
commitment.
there. I think that's
Okay.
maybe what you just said. Always working on yourself. Viktor Frankl said that life is full of unavoidable suffering. In the book of
Yeah.
life, Think it not strange that you'll face the fiery furnaces of this world. You will have tribulations. And I was just listening to a guy named Dimples this morning. And Dimples, that song is real today more so than ever. If it ain't one thing, it's another. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what's number two?
The second thing I say is you have to have a unrelenting commitment. Like you reach a certain point in life where turning back is just not an option, right? Where throwing in the towel is no longer an option. There's another chapter in the book, it's called In Too Deep. And you got to realize that you have too much skin in the game. You have too much value that the earth needs to allow life once again to take over and become your governing force. You got to be able to find the purpose and the passion within you to always be willing to push forward, to progress, to understand that I can't give up. I can't give up on my purpose. I can't give up on my dreams. I can't give up on what God has called me to do, because if I give up, then the people who are attached to me never get what they need in order for them not to give up. So the second thing I would say is you got to realize that you're in too deep. You can't give up now, even though it's hard. And 2020 has been a difficult year. Having understanding that, I also have to understand that my unrelenting commitment to purpose and destiny has to override what I'm going through. It has to be the strongest force in my life. So I got to realize I'm in too deep. Like I use an analogy in the book of a marathon runner, and you practice and you've trained and you get into the marathon and you're 3/4 of a way through, and all of a sudden you catch a cramp. At that moment, you have to make a decision. Do I give into the pain that I'm feeling? Do I slow my pace? Do I make an adjustment? But I have to be committed to finishing this race. So I would say the second thing is you got to be committed to the process. You got to be, after you're working on yourself, you got to know that you've come too far to turn back now.
Well, let me share something with you. I'm going to speak on this tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm in too deep to quit. Come on. Woo, let me tell you. This book had so many jewels in it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm encouraging you to get this book when life happens, because it's one of the most important things to me during this time, when we have various voices sharing ideas of how they navigated this thing called life. And we have things that we can read that can empower us, things that we can listen to that can expand our vision of ourselves, and to realize that we're stronger than we give ourselves credit for being, that we're in too deep to quit. Come on, bring the third one up in here.
So the third one that I would go with is changing your perspective of the process. There's a chapter in the book, it's called Proper Pressure. And a lot of times we see the pressure that we go through or the pressure that we get under as a negative thing. So it changes our perspective of it and how we then approach it. Another analogy that I use is a weightlifter who's always putting his body under certain types of pressure, certain pains. I go to the gym, and when I leave, a lot of time I'm in pain, I'm tired, I'm wore out. But because I process the pain and the pressure as a good thing, it makes me continue to put myself through that same type of rigorous training the next day, because I'm relating my process and my pressure with a positive versus a negative. So once I switch my perspective and realize that there is proper pressure that I need, because if I don't get under certain pressure, I don't grow. I don't get stronger. I don't get any stronger by lifting weight that's comfortable for me. I get stronger by putting more weight to where I have to use muscles and strength to push the weight from a different perspective. I got to reach deeper down and find something in me when I want to give up. So understanding that if you shift your perspective, you can literally save your life. Is that everything? The Bible says that all things work together for the good of those who love God and who are called according to his purpose. If I can shift my perspective to believe that everything that happens in my life is working for my good, that changes the game. Now I'm free to approach everything from a positive perspective. And I'm an ultra optimist. Like I'm always going to find the silver lining. I'm always going to be the one who can see the negative and trying to find the positive, because I know that if you can control your thoughts and your perception of it, you can literally do anything you put your mind to.
His name is Will Jackson. He's written a book and it's on Amazon. I encourage you to buy this book now. Get it for yourself and for people that you care about and have the level of consciousness to embrace it and appreciate the value that it brings in this hour. Get several. When Life Happens by Will Jackson, available on Amazon. And he's my good friend too. I'm going to just drop that in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And also, Les, if they want to, I'll do autographed copies. If they go to www.officialwilliamjackson.com, you can not only get the book, you can get merchandise. We have some programs on there. So I would love to connect with everybody who's watching.
Okay, that sounds great to me. Repeat it again.
www.officialwilliamjackson.com. I love to connect with you.
All right. When Life Happens, the author, you just heard him, and he's a dynamic speaker as well. Got a great voice. And he sings, and he plays the piano. I said, come on, man. I've been saying full of versatility with nothing but ability, but you are the absolute personification of that.
Come on, sir. I appreciate you. I'm humble. And I want to thank you publicly, Les, just for everything that you do for all of us who are continuously trying to get better. Your wisdom, the knowledge, the gems that you drop for free, like the stuff that you give to people that people pay thousands and hundreds and tens of thousands for, you give it away. And I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for everything that you've done in my life and for all of us who watch.
Well, thank you so much. It's my pleasure, my brother. When you're fourth-stage cancer conqueror, you're appreciative. You know,
yes, sir.
You know how I got here? God's grace.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. His name is Will Jackson. Order the book now. Go to Amazon now and order this book. Thank you. I'll be talking to you later. Bye for now.
Yes, sir.
All right. Will Jackson. Boy, he's a bad brother up in here. And he's someone to get in touch with. If you have a speaking engagement, he speaks virtually and he trains. And he provides entertainment. He does it all. He's a full package. I'm going to learn how to sing from him, but in the meantime, I can speak and dance.
Come on, sir. We got to put together some choreography. That's what we'll do. We'll be a tandem.
I could do Jerusalem. You know, I could do that. You ought to see my version of it. Oh, boy. You crack up. All right. Thank you. Take care.
All right, sir.
Bye.